Hi, and welcome to Future Business Leaders of America, Vermont, FBLA chapter, Judge Training. I'm Sarah Emery, and I'm glad to have you with me as I go over the basics of being a judge for our organization. It's very important for us to have judges from the community. As you can see from this particular slide on the PowerPoint, there's a lot of trendy words that make this valuable. But at the end of the day, you don't know our students, which means you have no bias in the work that they've done. And additionally, you have an eye for the work that's being done as if it was done by a professional. And if Vermont students are to be successful at national competitions, they need to be audited as such. At our Vermont FBLA Spring Conference, we give away over $26,000 in scholarships and awards. Just having the medals around their necks gives students a sense of fulfillment and recognition. Students that are able to, who place in first through fourth, are able to go on to nationals where they will be with a group of 15 to 25,000 students from across the United States and territories competing for the prestige of being best in nation. The Future Business Leaders of America Vermont chapter is made up not only of the executive director and the advisors, our student body, and our chapter officer team. We sponsor between 55 and 65 events, both live and online, and the coordination of it can get a little complicated. But you will be our trusted decision maker. We look forward to you judging with us, and through the rest of this webinar, we're giving you additional information about the thoughts, the premise, and the concepts behind being a judge for Vermont FBLA. Between August and January, chapters have been recruiting students. And by March 2nd and March 9th, chapters have to submit either pre-judged projects or online testing. The day of the event, the 2 days of the conference, is sheer pandemonium for most of the students and the advisors, but it's a really important day for them to experience and to make the most of. How to objective test. Objective tests are online events only. That means the student sat down with their advisor proctoring and took an online exam. Those exams are automatically calculated for places 1 through 5. So as a judge, you won't have any interaction with online only tests. Pre-judged reports and presentations are very interesting. That means the students submitted a prejudged report to me, the executive director, and it was graded against the national rubric. That grading will be done before you arrive on site to judge their presentation. Once you've completed your online webinar, I will send you a link to copies of the prejudged reports, as well as your grading rubric for the live event. Interview events. We have 2 interview events. One is Future Business Leader and one is Job Interview. I'll go into specifics on both of those in their subcategory, but understand that the students have created cover letters and resumes that must be judged as if they were being submitted to you by an industry professional. Pre-submissions of cover letters and resumes have already been judged, and copies of those will be made available to the assigned judge. You'll be able to see my scoring, but each student should be bringing their own resume and cover letter with them to your interview. Speech events. We have 2 speech events. One has 2 categories. We have impromptu speaking, where students are sequestered for 5 minutes with a prompt, for 10 minutes with a prompt and given 5 minutes to speak. And we have public speaking, where students are given a national prompt ahead of time and they prepare their best speech. Public speaking is open for other students to listen to, but impromptu speaking, not. Presentation events with equipment. This year is pretty exciting. We're no longer providing screens and projectors, and all students need to bring their own device to present to you an unjudged event, which means nobody's seen it before you've seen it. Some examples are on the screen here. Our most popular are public service announcement, an electronic career portfolio. Electronic career portfolio is crucial for many of the career and technical centers in Vermont as they are using e-portfolios as part of their proficiency-based learning. Presentation events without equipment are often called role play. And these are often role play events. In these events, for business ethics, the student comes ready with a scenario, and you'll have a copy of that, and they give you a presentation of how they would solve it. For client service, the student has 10 minutes, a 10-minute role play where they've given a prompt, and the judge acts the role of a client, usually dissatisfied, and then scores the student's reactions. Team role play is very popular. Team role play requires the students to have taken a group online multiple choice placement test. Those scores are used to break ties. These are longer events. The student has 20 minutes to be sequestered with the prompt and the judge, and then 7 minutes to present a solution to that prompt. Pre-judged project and presentation events are digital video production and website design. The students had a very specific prompt of what they needed to create for content, but they're welcome to create that content on any platform. These events have already been judged as far as following guidelines, spelling, all of the mechanics, and you will be judging their presentation. And finally, there are a few online objective tests and role plays. And the online objective test serves to break a tie. Role play, kind of fun if you love it, gives the students a chance to act out how they would, or practice how they would, handle a particular scenario. The most important thing on the day of the event is timing. If you can imagine, we've scheduled every student for every event. There is enough time between each one, but students who are late are not permitted to sit for that event. It is very, very important for judges to stay on top of time, and that's why for most of the events there are 2 judges, one to run the clock, one to do the scoring. We invite you to flip-flop, vice versa. Each judge will be provided with a stopwatch or a timer to use, but you're also welcome to use your phones. Soon you'll be sent your judging folders, and in your judging folders will be any pre-submitted materials for your orientation, guidelines for that judging event, and the rubric. When you arrive on site, you will also additionally have a printed out rubric with each student's name on it, and the scoring system, as well as any pre-judged materials that you would like to look at for your reference. We really appreciate you volunteering to judge with us at the Vermont FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America chapter, and we look forward to seeing you at our spring conference. Thank you.